What's up everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be camping, but we're also going to be building our own campsite. So if you guys are excited, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe, and let's get into it. So before we make our way over to where we're going to be building the campsite, I need to close my door because I always forget, and we're going to be gone for a while. So let's start making our way over to where I said, which is going to be located all the way down here. Actually, you know what, I kind of lost it. Oh, it's going to be down here. Oh, and since it's already 4 p.m, I want to make sure I finish this thing before the sun sets. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time, but I'm going to try my best to make sure I get it done before the sun sets because I want to make sure I test out my campsite. There's also been a brand new update in APM. You can now add mud flaps. Let me quickly show you guys actually. You're going to go to attachments and then you're going to scroll down until you see mud flaps. And now you can click on pretty much any mud flaps that you want. You can choose the front. This one says APM. This one says APM with a different design, and then another one. And if you click it one more time, you should get them in the back as well. But this one, what is this? I don't know what that is. I think they're also mud flaps. I've never seen that, but I don't think I'm gonna add. Actually, you know what? Kind of looks good. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not gonna add mud flaps because I don't think I need them, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not gonna add any mud flaps right now. But if you guys want me to add mud flaps to my favorite truck, let me know in the comments and I will do it. But for now, let's continue making our way over there. Let me just put my drivetrain in 4 high, just like so, and let's keep on going. But the main reason I kind of put it right here is because it makes my truck drive much more faster, and it makes me feel like I have more control over the vehicle. But as you guys can see, there is an empty field right here that I want to camp, so I'm gonna leave my camper parked to the side, just like so. Let me just turn on my emergency lights like that, and I'm gonna disconnect it. And we just disconnected it, and we're gonna pick up the construction equipment so we can get our campsite built for today afternoon. But good thing, the construction site is not too far away. It is literally right down the street. I just gotta make a left turn on the dirt road, just like so, right here. So let me turn on my blinkers and make sure I make a left turn, and then I'm gonna make one more left turn right here. So let me do that. There we go. And we have the construction equipment all ready for us to take. So I'm gonna leave my truck parked right down under this tree, just like so, and we're gonna take this thing over to the location where we're gonna be building our campsite. So I am very excited. Let me check if my beacons are turned on. Yeah, my beacons are turned on, so I'm not gonna touch none of that stuff. And oh my goodness, this thing is so heavy. I need to be more careful before I end up flipping this thing. All right, so let me carefully turn. Gotta make sure I don't flip over. Oh no, careful, this is not good. It's gonna flip over. Okay, hold on, let's give it some gas. And easy fix. That was easy. You guys forgot I am the GOAT at this game. Anyways, let me turn right here. Gotta make sure I carefully turn. Oh, I almost hit the stop sign. That could have been pretty bad. But we have another stop sign right here. Let me make sure the road is clear. All right. And let's make a turn right here very carefully. We might even have to go on the dirt a little bit. Yep. Sorry, guys. All right. So we successfully made a turn there and at the construction site, which means we can now head over to the campsite where we can finally unload these construction vehicles and get started to building before the sunset. So we are coming up to the site. I'm gonna park. I think I'm gonna park in the middle of the streets. Good thing there is no one really comes over here, which is the main reason I'm able to park right in the middle of the street. But don't worry, I'm gonna turn on my emergency lights. There we go. And I'm gonna turn this thing off because it is super loud and it's kind of pricey to fill this thing up with gas. It's costs a lot of money. But let me pull down the ramps, and I'm gonna get in the first construction car. So let me enter. Let me get this thing started, and let's carefully get this thing down off the ramps. There we go. And while we're at it, we should actually start laying out the foundation and the driveway on where our campsite is going to be. So I think I'm gonna go all the way to the little hill over here. I might have to do 2 passes. I'm not gonna lie. I think we're definitely gonna have to do 2 passes. And I think this is going to be where the campsite is going to be. So let me kind of like turn and then probably draw like a circle. Yeah, let's do a giant circle. I think that's gonna look good. Uh-oh, I missed a spot. Okay, let's continue laying out our campsite. All right, let me just finish this part. Uh-oh, hold on. And I think we just need to connect it to this piece, just like so. And look at that. So this is going to be the foundation of our campsite. I just gotta go over this part of grass and we should be pretty much done, and then we'll be able to continue with the second piece of equipment so we can just level this thing out. So I'm gonna do a quick time lapse of me doing this entire section, and I'll get back at you guys. Alrighty everyone, we are now finished with pretty much laying out the foundation of our campsite. All we gotta do is go back and get the other machine so we can start flattening this piece of land. So I'm gonna turn this thing back on, and I'm also gonna refine this path a little bit more just so it can look a little bit more better, just like so. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So let me raise the ripper. There we go. And I'm gonna leave this thing parked right here because we don't need it anymore. We're gonna leave that thing parked right there. I did leave the emergency lights on just in case anyone does come, they could see that the lights are on. But I'm gonna get into this big vehicle and I'm gonna very carefully get this thing lowered. There we go. And let's head over here so we can get this thing leveled out. So let's begin with this section right here. All right, let me lower this a little bit more. Nice, super nice. Look at that. Oh yeah, get all of that. This is super satisfying. I need someone to do this with my brain. Let me grab this. All right, now let me work on this section right here. Come on, this is kind of tough. There you go. A little bit more. Keep going. Nice. We're almost done with this section. So let me just continue removing this piece. And oh, actually, you know what? I almost forgot this piece. Hold on. Let me just finish this off. And I think that is it. Hold on. Look at that. We took a really chunk off. It looks so nice. I just gotta bring my RV camper. Alright, so I got in my truck. I'm gonna bring the RV camper like I said and put it on our brand new campsite and test this thing out and see how good our campsite is. So let me just carefully back up. There we go. So we can enter the campsite. This is our brand new driveway that we built. Not bad. Looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so I'm gonna park my camper like I think right here is fine. Yeah, I'm gonna leave my camper parked right there. So let me just disconnect it from my truck and let me hop right back in. All right, nice. So I'm gonna leave my truck parked right, I think right here, to be honest. This is a nice place. And before we do set up camp, I want to make sure I put that construction vehicle back on my truck. So let me quickly hop right back in, just like so. And let me slowly get this thing back on the semi because I do not want to leave a huge mess. So I think that is good. Yeah, I think that should be good for now. And I'm going to pull up the ramps because I'm going to park my semi kind of on the side of the road. So let me get back in. There we go. And let me get this thing parked. Alrighty, everyone. I finally have the semi parked right on the side of the road. So hopefully people see the semi that it is parked on the side of the road and they don't end up hitting it. So yeah, good luck to them. But anyways, we're gonna go back to this. Oh my goodness, the sun is in my face. We're gonna go back to the campsite. We're gonna get everything set up for tonight because we're gonna be sleeping here tonight. Let me open up my tarp. I'm gonna open up my door just like so, and let's open up all of the pop outs. Alright, cool. So let me get this closed back up and let me finish setting up. Gonna turn on the light and can't forget about the TV. Look at that. So it looks like the sun is still going down. So I'm just gonna wait till the sun does go down so we can go to sleep. Alrighty everyone, it looks like it's starting to rain out of nowhere. What the hell? I don't know what happened to the sun. I think that's my son to go to sleep. But anyways, I'm gonna go to sleep because it is super scary outside and it's raining. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. Oh my goodness, I have to go to work. Good morning everyone. It looks like it is now morning the next day, and honestly I had a really good sleep today. So not a bad first time of building my own campsite and spending the night here. If you guys haven't tried this, make sure you guys do because it is pretty fun. And if you guys did also enjoy it, make sure you guys smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on to the next one. Peace.